talk about various things of the game, I guess, you know.
I guess
Yeah,
one thing you could talk about is like, what are some of the differences between, like, for example, Black and Sigma? Like, what things does Sigma do well that Black doesn't, or some things that Black does well that Sigma
It's
doesn't?
funny, we
Like
wanted to talk about that
changes.
actually. Would you be interested in joining us if you want? We'll do that video and we can link it because
Oh,
there's a lot of people that ask me that actually, Gala. I was saying that to JTB
yeah.
earlier. There's a lot of.
yeah.
It's just it could go on for a while, but we could try to
Yeah,
cover.
I
I
see.
guess
I see.
we
I
could
see.
we should
We could
try.
do some kind of the
Yeah,
big ones, I think.
yeah.
One thing I did want to just ask Gala real quick, just kind of a general thing. Like, what's your kind of like favorite aspect of like NG in general? Like, do you have like a favorite
Um,
boss, that sort of thing, or like favorite weapon? Just kind of like little things that like keep you kind of coming back. I feel like there
well,
can be
when
stuff
I
like that sometimes.
when I played, my favorite weapon was the Luna. I like the Luna. The Luna's
Nice.
really
Luna's yeah, the Luna's super fun.
I like the
Yeah,
Luna.
good weapon.
I like the combat because I like games that have like combinations for different attacks.
Mhm.
Like if you press Y X X or X Y X Y, like stuff like that. I really like pulling off different. So I like the combat a lot in Ninja Gaiden. I think it's fun. I like that a lot. Yeah.
And after, is there like, for example, did you come to appreciate more the movement at first because you like the combat, and then did you notice that the movement was kind of like really tight, and you also you
Yeah, that
appreciate it?
was,
Yeah.
I think that was when I first started running, I noticed that was really hard. Like I was always clinging onto walls and like
Yeah, yeah.
going where I didn't want to go, and I was like, oh dear, this is hard. Yeah. So yeah, have to learn that over time. Takes time.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's not easy. The
Mm.
movement in this game is really hard, I think, and you can I don't know. I say I would say you can never really master it, but
No,
you can
no, not at all.
you can get really good at it though. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I really like the way this game move, and actually to start on that though, if we want to talk about the differences, that the thing that JTB talked about earlier, the roll movement in Sigma compared to NGB, that's one thing that people might think it doesn't make a huge difference, but it actually, in my book, it makes a huge difference. But it really depends, I guess, the level you're going to play the game, So I always say in
Mm.
perspective, if it's someone that just want to play the game casually, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. The differences, they might not notice it. They might even think, that the little backflip looks cool in Sigma, So I guess there's definitely different perspective on that, but I would personally say that it's kind of a huge difference that if you play at a high
Mm.
level, you're straight up gonna notice. What do you think about
I
it?
think people will, especially the backflip. For example, like if you get one of the biggest like kind of quirks of the backflip is, if you're trying to go through a door, and in Black you can just roll into the door and
Yep.
then go through the door.
Yep.
In Sigma, if there's enemies around and you backflip, like you can't backflip and go through a door because
Yep.
Ryu has to actually be looking at the door. So
Yeah.
that's just one of those little things where you can kind of get really frustrated, and but what you've got to do is just quickly transition to neutral and then look at the door, and then you can go through the door. It's just again like one of those tiny little things. Like the sideways rolls have got like different properties. They can kind of mess you up if you're not like
Yeah.
keeping a real close eye on like your positioning. So I think the more people will play it, I think people will notice the differences. But it's mainly AI is the main differences you'll notice in Sigma, and this is where it gets into, if you've played a lot of NGO4, you'll notice it. Like enemies' projectiles are just way more accurate in Sigma, even on like normal.
Yeah.
They just do not miss. Like they are insanely accurate. Like enemies are just in general quite a bit more aggressive. They deal more damage. There's loads of little differences just kind of peppered all the way across the game. There's loads of different stun properties to the strings too. So stuff like XXY can sometimes actually down an enemy. Like you'll knock them to the floor, and then the fourth hit of that string will whiff, and then you're super open. Knocking enemies like upstairs versus downstairs, like they will fall downstairs. Incendiary.
Roll down the in chapter
Yep.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The slant. They would roll down the slant. Incendiary impalement properties are completely different. They actually don't have like an actual hit stun property on every enemy like they do in Black. You'll notice that on zombie archers, like the incendiary will actually stick in them, but they won't actually stagger. So that'll have an effect depending on what you're trying. Alma's AI, again, very much like NGO4. Awakened Alma's hitbox is just dumb.
Yeah.
in
You
Sigma.
cannot hit the centipede part of it. And by
Yeah,
the way,
you
you
can't hit the
cannot throw.
legs, yeah.
You cannot throw double incendiary shuriken when bird flipping from a wall in Sigma. It will only throw one. It does the animation of 2.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
yeah.
he only throws one incendiary.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is honestly so many to go into, and there's different air juggles on enemies too. So like one combo that doesn't work in black, if you do like X hold down YB XXY, that you'll knock them back down to the ground. If you do it in Sigma, it refloats them, so you can actually juggle enemies for longer. I'm just trying to think of all the big ones.
Well, I mean, of course, arrows. I mean, they were pretty similar in the PS3 port, I guess, except for the jumping part. But now this version added like the different aiming mode, I guess, with that weird crosshair. You know, so
I hate that crosshair so much.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I think I would want that.
you think you would want that?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is. I got to be so like this is. Probably a particular problem for me because like I look at that crosshair as like it just kind of gets in the way of where I want to look, but it's just the actual bow system I don't really mind, but arrows in particular, like the in-air bow does actually do less damage than like shooting on the ground, so that's something to keep in mind. But you can negate that with equipment in this game, so that'll be something different to keep in mind.
Have you noticed, by the way, how one thing I noticed very important on the tank, for instance, is that when Ryu free aim on the tank in Sigma, he will aim at the bottom part of the tank for some reason, and while in black, he will aim come more like towards the middle part of the tank to kind of take down the gunner with explosive arrow. You know what I mean? And
exactly. I think that's NGO4 carryover too.
Yeah.
So if you play because the tanks in NGO4 were very, very different. I don't know if you can remember, Al, but I don't think explosive arrows were like a guaranteed like knockdown on the turret guy in NGO4. I think they did some.
The cheese strat.
What was
Yeah,
it?
you can cheese the tanks.
Stand close, and they would just spin around you in a circle, and you could just sit there and hit them with the.
Oh, they didn't have the grenade and stuff around.
No, not in NGO4.
Yeah, you just stand there and just shoot them. I mean, no challenge at all.
That's one thing I've noticed actually that will definitely factor in on speedrunning is I don't know. It seems like the tanks seem to have the same amount of health on every difficulty in the Master Collection.
Oh yeah, I did not notice that much.
That's something I want to test because I was playing on Master Ninja and I only I think I got down to 2 arrows and thought I actually didn't need to reload here.
Yeah, and usually they do have more health in GB. So I also like, of course, the Ninpo. You know, that's a huge difference there. Fire wheel.
Ninpo is amazing in the Master Collection.
Amazingly too good.
Yeah,
like
no, it's fine. Yeah, they
fine.
should leave it. But I know you mentioned you didn't play NGO4, Gala, but in general in NGO4, Ninpo was just way stronger. Like it did way more damage. And in original Sigma, they had like this the 6-axis like damage boost.
Yeah, to shake your controller, right?
Yeah, in the Master Collection, they're all defaulted to that damage level anyway. And there's that NGO4 kind of DNA in there. So level 2 Inferno on Master Ninja one-shots like ogres and laser crab fiends.
Wow.
And that is just kind of nuts. It's about like level 3 Inferno in mission mode. Where the enemies have more health. Level 3 Inferno on Alma's like 40% of her life bar, give or take. It's ridiculous,
If it
like
connects,
how strong
though,
it is.
doesn't it take a long time to light up, though?
Oh yeah, it does, yeah. But yeah, if it actually connects, it's kind of because in black, either like it's not really work. Like you use Ninpo in those missions for the iframes, you know, like if you know you're gonna get hit. Whereas in this, like if you hit Alma with that and like do one combo, she's dead. So it's weird to see how that.
You to make,
yeah, and then I just thought of course the running on water way different. I mean in Sigma they kind of made it intuitive where you automatically goes into that. Side note, JTB, have you seen the I think the red room? Have you seen the flying swallow cancel on the wall with the dual sword? Yeah. That's pretty fun to do. Have you seen that, Gala, by the way? Or no, not yet.
Yeah, I have. I thought it was interesting they changed that room to have water rather than like
Yeah, yeah,
Harry's in Blood Black. I thought it was it Leia that they wanted to do that. I was like, oh, okay.
they kind
A
of
little bit
minimized
different.
the puzzle, I guess, you know, because the
Yeah.
other one you had to, I guess, just shoot the target and all if you wanted to, but yeah, that's quite different. Certain of those rooms, even the section in chapter, well, the equivalent of chapter 11 in NGB, you know, the water
Yeah.
chapter, Gala.
Yeah.
The design and all of that is that's
Yeah.
very different too.
Well, you know,
It's
you're
very
talking about how
different.
they changed it in Sigma.
Yeah.
And before, nobody knew about the red room, blue room shortcut with the shurikens and stuff like that. Like whenever I did my speed run, I still shot the targets and ran
Yeah.
across the blue. Yeah, none of that was known. The stadium skip wasn't known. You know, the stuff in the train yard, or you know, with the helicopter and all, none of that was known. So it's interesting. So I wonder in Sigma, it's like, well, if nobody's doing the puzzles anyway because we're doing all the skips,
You
why
think that's
put
why
it
they
in
did
there?
it? Yeah, that would
I
make
mean, it could
sense.
be, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
no,
the
no.
stadium-
I'd hazard a guess it was more that because to be honest, like the intended ways, I think it's more of a problem in the red room, not the blue room. The blue room's fairly straightforward, but the intended way of doing the red room is kind of finicky.
To
Like,
shoot
you
like
got-
the target on top to slow them
because
down and all
you've
of
got the
that.
targets, you've got the spikes, you've got 3 archers, and again, coming from NGO4 where the archers were just brutal.
Oh man.
I feel like maybe they thought, maybe we can just get rid. Like maybe this just isn't that fun for people, you know. So
Yeah, the fight the very hard horseman in chapter 2.
Mm.
I just whenever I did my last run on it, that we did the commentary for, I just did the Ninpo because they'll just.
I mean,
ping
yeah,
you to
so
death.
that doesn't work in Sigma. Like Inferno, like doesn't dismount them. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty big change. Like NGO4.
The only way to dismount is you gotta hit with the aura, and then you gotta hit the same guy that you just hit with the aura. Even if you hit with the aura and you hit another guy, you're not gonna take down the other guy. That's what's weird.
Yeah.
But Inferno is good against the bike guy, though. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, the motorbike guy.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Because I'm testing right now. You know, I'm doing a lot of tests for it, but I'm trying to think after that about some of the big changes. You know, to cover everything. Do you have other JTB that pops right now? Because I'm trying to
For the
think.
Master Collection or just like
No,
Sigma?
no, Sigma and
general?
NGB. Yeah, Sigma and NGB. The difference between those.
Damage is a lot higher in Sigma. I that is like one of the most. Like I don't know how that myth keeps surviving that like enemies do less damage in Sigma versus Black. I don't get that.
Enemy do
all you've
more
gotta do is-
damage.
yeah, the enemies do way more damage. Especially in mission mode. Like just the best way to test it, just let a Silver Samurai hit you in mission mode in Sigma, and then go and do the same thing in Black. It's literally like twice the damage in Sigma. And that's kind of the same thing. Like in chapter 2, like the Silver Samurai's kind of launch where they like uppercut you and then hit you.
Yeah.
In Sigma on Master Ninja, like original
one
Sigma,
tap.
yeah, that into a wall, you're dead. Like, that kills you. In Black, like it takes like 3 of them to kill you. So that's a pretty big one that just people don't seem to remember. Like you'll notice it a lot on Nishe as well. Like Nishe's damage is just off the chart in Sigma. So just in general, just enemies hit quite a bit harder.
Duo sword, obviously. You know, addition. Duo sword. Yeah, that's a
They
big
are really
one.
good.
They're really
for some
good.
people who
Yeah.
say otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. See, people say it's not good. Don't know what they're talking
Even
about.
at level 1, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
they've
that-
got rotate Y at level 1.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
dumb.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
shouldn't
no,
have that probably.
That should have
but-
been an upgrade, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shh.
Imagine if the Dragon Sword had Gleaming Blade at level 1.
Yeah, that would be silly.
That'd be pretty great.
But yeah, so that, and then of course, I mean, now in this new version, that was not there back in the day. The enhancement, you know.
Yeah, it's the equipment. I think that's I mean, I'm really glad that's in there because I played the Vita version a ton, and that was something that because not many people played that, and there is a forum for that, like a dedicated forum on NG Realm for that. But I was kind of wishing more people would pick it up because I was like this equipment's actually really cool, and it's quite interesting the way it would like alter the game to play either for speed or karma. I'm not going to do any full-blown karma runs for the collection, but I'm definitely going to dabble in kind of using the equipment,
The equipment,
to
yeah.
like mess with it and like see how it would impact the run. And the same for speedruns.
Yeah.
So
That's why there's two category, you know. There's
Yeah.
one category you can have fun with those, and then if you don't, you can do the other run and you take.
Oh, I'm
the
gonna go equipment all
you
the way.
regular
Yeah. I love the, yeah, I love the damage. Like the damage you do, the damage you dish out is just
off the
it's
chart.
not. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. Like, I think level 1 dual swords, like 4 rotate Ys, just kills Hydrocubus with the dragon helm on.
Wow. Have you, as side note, Gala, have you ever messed around and had fun with the UF at low health, or no?
What is UF?
The unlabored flawlessness.
Unlabored
flawlessness. It's the
It's-
fully
Oh no, I
upgraded
haven't
wooden
sword.
played
sword.
around with
Fully
that.
Okay,
No.
okay, because that's actually really fun to experience, by the way, if
Yeah,
you
it's
ever
awesome.
get around to it. Because when your health is flashing red with that weapon, I don't know if you ever saw any video with that weapon, but you do nuclear damage, and you can pretty much
Yeah.
one combo bosses, and it's really satisfying because you know of how brutal this game is and how much it kick your ass. It's nice to kick its ass sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Well, like
Honestly-
Smoggin, can't you just charge the ET at
Yeah.
the beginning and
And
then
X,
XY,
Y,
XXX,
XXX,
and
yeah, that's
And
it.
it's dead.
One thing though, after like I've been doing a lot of messing with the like the equipment in the Master Collection, the UF.
With equipment.
The UF with equipment is really stupid, but the level 3 Debilero fully like with the Dragon Helm and the NG3 costume,
Yeah.
it ain't too far off the UF, and you don't have to be at low health
Low
to
health.
use it. So,
Ah.
yeah, like that's one of the main things I'm looking at testing on the first Master Ninja run. Like, is the UF actually worth going for?
Because you might
it
go
take-
just for the dabby and level it
Yeah,
up.
you might as well just
it.
go for the Debilero, and then it's more consistent because I think on Master Ninja, 1 UT and a forward Y kills an ogre with the level 3 Debilero,
Huh.
and like that's every time. Whereas like sometimes a low health UF won't one shot an ogre. So
One question, by the way, that I have, JTB, just now that pops up when I
Mhm.
think about it is, you know how in NGB the crabs on Master Ninja on Chapter 10 they got like decreased HP from the one
The
that
laser
you
crabs.
get, yeah, from the one that you get later on, you know, like in Chapter 15 or
Mhm.
even 14 where they have more HP. Is it the same in Sigma? Because I actually didn't really pay attention to that, and I
It is,
didn't
yeah.
notice. So it's the same in Sigma. They have decreased
yeah,
HP early on, and then after later
yeah,
on they have
fun
increased
fact.
HP. Okay.
Yeah, fun fact with the Dragon Helm and the Grip of Murder costume, 1 exploding arrow in Chapter 10 kills them.
Wow.
Just 1, and even an air shot will kill them. It's I just did that kind of out of force of habit by playing, and when it died, I just laughed. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is-
Yeah. It's insanely powerful. Do you
Yeah.
know the exact percentage of those costumes, by the way, or not?
No, that's something I honestly can't be asked to work that out, but I feel like I should because I do want to know. Like I do want to know actually how much like what the increase is because
Yeah.
if I had to just throw out a number, I'd say it's at least 50%.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Something
between
like 50,
the two of them. If you've got the
50%
dragon
increase.
helmet on and the costume, like you're doing considerably more damage. So yeah, that's something I'll definitely have a look at some point. But it also applies to a lot of enemies like that. Like berserkers have more health. Like the berserkers in the stadium challenge have less health than in the Great Bridge challenge, and then later on in the core.
Yeah.
So I think that's just something like across all the big
Yeah,
enemies.
that's-
Like they just have more health.
You mentioned Berserker. It's a good thing. They are different in Sigma, and there's a lot of people that I've
yeah.
seen that fight them like in NGB, but a lot of people don't know that in Sigma they don't guard break on every single hit like they do in NGB.
Yeah, it's only the second hit. They have two hit strings when they're not raged, and like the second hit of those 2 hit strings breaks your guard. It doesn't crush you. Otherwise, you can just always counter them. But yeah, the Lunar is the way to go on Sigma Berserkers.
Yep.
And especially with the damage buff. I mean, you don't really need you don't even need the UF, even if that strategy still worked. You know, you can just use the Lunar really.
Yeah, because it's strong enough. And that equipment, to point out, carries, as soon as you get it, it carries to any playthrough. If you want to use it, it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So That's about it. I don't know. Did we miss other thing that I'm thinking about real quick?
I mean, I feel like it's obvious, but there is a ton of new missions in the Master
Yeah,
Collection
yeah,
from the
yeah,
Vita.
yeah.
So if anyone has only played original Sigma, and there's some cool new missions actually. Like some of them are a bit, kind of a bit not throwaway, but like they're over very very quickly. But there are some that are pretty decent. Like there's some like pretty long, like 100-man style missions that are really fun.
Oh,
So
nice.
they're
So
worth looking at.
that's a good difference too. Actually, the mission mode from Sigma to Black, it's very different. They don't have the same mission, and then they have an extra mission, I guess, in Sigma every time in each of the section that's dedicated to Rachel, right? Even the
Yeah, they
one
do.
on the Vita. So there you go. So this is the main difference. A lot of people don't know though about this because it's not everyone, I guess, that will play the mission mode, but still very fun, I guess, to experience a little bit, And
Yeah, mission mode in the Master Collection is a pretty substantial piece of content. It's say there's 76 missions in total. I mean that's a lot, to go. And you think you can do all of those? You can do 4 times like normal through Master Ninja. So there's a lot there to get through.
what about the Weapon Master, Speed Master, Rachel
Oh
Master?
yeah, all that's in there too.
Yeah.
All the DLCs in there. Yep.
So that's pretty much the main differences, I guess, that there is in those games. And as you said, the AI, another one. I don't know if you checked a little bit, JTB, because that was just so obvious. It was insane. Is how in the Catacombs, on the equivalent of, we'll say, Chapter 6 in NGB, but in Sigma, when you're a Master Ninja and you fight the Dino down there combined with the zombie, it's like the Dino have a hard time finding their path to Ryu, where they're not really aggressive. You know what I'm saying, right? They're just wandering around, and in NGB they're so aggressive that you have to watch out for them because they don't care if you're attacking one of the zombie. They will go for you, and that's why you gotta prioritize them. And in this one, I didn't remember that there was kind of so passive, and it's
you can just kind of stand there and charge like right in front of them,
and they do nothing, right?
No, they don't do anything.
It's so the AI has definitely changed. Even another one actually that just popped, even Spirit Doku. Yeah, because as we progress to the game, I'm thinking about further in, is I don't know what 7 or 8 hit combo string that he does. In NGB, he changes direction with where you're going. In Sigma, he will continue in the same original direction that he started doing his combo. And even if you end up behind him, he will not turn. Compared to NGB, he's following you with that. And that's way different,
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. That change.
Is it?
But
why is that a change?
Yeah, right. It's weird. And have you noticed also, JTB, how slow? I don't know if it's me, dude, that's dreaming there, but how slow is first Doku's grab on the Stadium Challenge? Like, it's delayed for a million years. I feel. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, he takes 100 years to. Whereas in Black, I mean. And
It's
I've played
instant.
Doku. Yeah, I've played Doku a fair amount of times, and that grab still gets me sometimes because sometimes you just forget how fast it is.
Yeah, right.
You think, okay, what's he gonna do? Grab. You think, mother. He's like, Jesus, like that was fast.
And
Yeah.
then the other one is just like, it's very slow.
You know what, man? Honestly, like if you read that, you'd probably have time to charge an ET.
Right?
It's that long. Yeah. if you read that that's what he was going to do, you could probably charge because Debilero UTs in Sigma just hit Doku for free.
Oh yeah,
whereas,
you see,
yeah.
that's another difference. That's good to mention.
whereas in Black,
Okay,
you have
if
to
he
make him
blocks
miss.
them, yeah. Well, unless he's short throw, I guess, or charging it.
You can hit him through sword throw, any flurry, you'll hit him as well.
Yeah.
Spirit Doku, when he throws his sword at you.
Yeah.
If you kind of look at where his shoulder would be, if that makes sense. There's like a little jolt of his arm like reattaching to his body, and that's actually like a vulnerable window. And if you time a UT release, like you'll actually hit him like as his sword goes back onto his body.
Huh. Interesting.
So you can do that. And yeah, so that's another difference. I say the more you think about it, the more you remember.
Yeah. That's why. That's why it's
Beer
good
all
to
night.
do that
Yeah,
video.
so there's so many.
But the Spirit Doku is also free with the Debilero UT charge and Sigma, or no? I don't remember that either.
In original Sigma or the Master Collection.
Well, we'll send the master because the other one's been too long, I guess. So.
I don't remember. I don't remember without actually testing it. But in the master collection, I just pretty much do the gleaming blade strat because when he does his flurry now, it's super easy to just kind of get behind him and then just run up to him and just gleaming blade him.
Yeah,
So,
because it doesn't
yeah.
change direction. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait.
Hey, what are y'all's? You're talking about the different animations and stuff that have changed. What are y'all's worst, like, I guess, deaths that you can get, or some of the moves? Like, whenever Doku grabs you and kills you, whenever he's like sucking the life from you, and that in slow motion.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's the worst. The when the guy trips you and kicks you and stabs you or cuts your, we talked about all the stuff the Ryu can do to the enemies, but there are some funny things that the enemies can do to Ryu. Is there anything that sticks out with that? I was kind of thinking about
Well,
that.
I mean, now that you mentioned that, though, Bigal, it just gave me the idea about the life consumption of item. How in Sigma, grab aren't dangerous anymore in the sense
Yeah,
that
as long
you
as you have
can,
health.
if you have
Yeah.
health, you can just out heal. So in black, you're scared to get grabbed by Awakened Alma, because if you're a little bit low on health, you took a little bit shit of damage, she grabs you, and unless you
You're dead
can
for a
menu
wee
fast
bit.
enough out of it, you're pretty much dead, Same goes with Spirit Doku. Spirit Doku does nuclear damage on his grab. So that's actually a good difference because the other one kind of remove, well, I mean, as long as you have heal, as JTB said, but it kind of remove how dangerous those moves are because of that.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, well, it's not a theory, but if you think about it in sort of like a death window, like as long as you have the health to kind of to survive what you get hit by, you can't really make a mistake in Sigma and get grabbed and die, because if you get grabbed, you can just immediately heal and you're okay, as long as the actual grab damage, like the initial grab damage, doesn't kill you. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
So after hearing all this information, Gala, we expect you to be like the best player ever. You just got bombarded with with all this information.
No,
that-
I'm listening. I'm listening. It's interesting because I didn't play Ninja Gaiden 2004, and like some of the things, like
But did you know also about the intercept technique in there, Gala? That was, well, I can't really compare it to Royal Guard, but
Rest in peace.
Yeah, because the timing window wasn't the same. But yeah, JTB did a very interesting video about that on his YouTube channel. If you're ever curious about this, it was like a really powerful technique that you could get early on in the game that they totally removed from NGB, and it's kind of sad though when you think about it. But I can let JTB explain it to you real quick what it is, because well, he knows about it.
Yeah, it's I know you said you play a lot of action games, so you probably did you play Metal Gear Rising at all? Maybe have you played that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how there's the parry system in that.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it's just like 50 times easier to do. It's really easy to do it, and also once you actually get a successful intercept, you have this sort of brief window of like buffering, but you're also invulnerable. So you can just kind of intercept an attack and then follow up with whatever you want, and then Ryu has 0 block stun, but the enemy still has to play out like their recovery frames. So it's just it's nuts. You can also anything that can guard crush, you can intercept. So you can intercept like all of Alma's fireballs. Like she can throw like 12 fireballs at you. You can just intercept every single one. Yeah, rockets, bullets. Marbus's pillars, you can intercept Marbus's flame pillars. Like it's so broken.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. It's so much fun to use intercept.
Look, yeah, he made a karma run video up on us. If you ought to watch that and see how it was done, and that was.
I guess if you really want to see how broken it is, that video probably shows it more.
But I guess that's one of the things that irritated me the most, and we've talked about on another stream. And I'll just mention it that I know this is all the Sigma versions of it, but to know that the intercept is gone. I know you can play black and you play NGO4 and all that stuff, but you can't play the intercept. And to me, that was the most fun of the NG series. It may not be as rewarding as the other ones, but to know that that's gone and people don't get a chance to play that. I actually had somebody offer to buy my original Xbox because I still have the saves
I've had
Yeah.
that offer more than once.
And you're like,
From me.
no.
Yeah.
And I
I'm like,
told him no. I told
like a
him no.
million, like 10 million, and it's yours. Like,
No,
otherwise.
I'm just not
Yeah,
gonna
10
do it.
million, right? That's fair. That's a good price. I agree with that
That's
there.
fair, yeah. That's how awesome it is now.
Yep.
10 million's fair. Hey, I wanted to ask a question real quick. When I was in your stream the other day, I know this is kind of changing gears, but I'm gonna have to go soon. So I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
a
same,
question.
same. No worries. Go ahead.
You said that you were going to be streaming something at a conference or something. What was that? You put a link in your stream, and it was a schedule of speed gaming.
JDQ,
Oh,
JDQ, right?
GDQ, yeah, SGDQ. Summer Games Done Quick. I'm going to be doing Bayonetta 1 at SGDQ. Also, because you mentioned that, I actually submitted Ninja Gaiden Black to Fleet Fatales, which is a marathon run by the GDQ staff, which is a marathon for women in speedrunning.
Yeah, that's awesome.
nice.
That's awesome. I hope
Yeah,
you
so
get
I
in. I hope you
submitted-
get in.
Yeah, I submitted Ninja Gaiden Black, so we'll see if that happens. That's happening at the start of August, so I'll let you know if it gets in or not.
Yeah, looking
So-
Oh,
forward
cool. I'll
to it.
definitely keep an
Online,
eye
or
out for
are you
that.
going
Yeah.
somewhere to meet
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah, I was once at that marathon before, and everyone's really lovely and supportive, so it's really nice to be a part of.
Yeah.
Because, like, an event like that, like, you get to meet people like other women who have similar experiences in the community, and yeah, who have things in common with you, and it's nice to, yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
fine.
So where did you get to meet those people? Was it in your country, or did you go out of country?
Oh, well, SGDQ is, not SGDQ, the Fleet Fatales marathon is online, so it's like
Oh, okay.
different runners from all around the world. Yeah. So I just looked it up. It was a marathon happening, and I thought, okay, I'll submit to it. I submitted Bayonetta 1 to it a while ago, and it was nice. So yeah, I submitted.
I'll have to get around to watching a Bayonetta speedrun. I love Bayonetta.
I mean, she's
It's such a
gonna.
good
That's
game.
what she's gonna run at the
Yeah,
Summer Game
yeah,
Done
I'll have to
Quick,
watch
you
that,
know.
yeah.
So she's gonna run Bayonetta. So
I feel like
Yeah.
Bayonetta should have a lot more love than it has in my
Yeah,
book.
Bayonetta is very good. It's very
I
like the
love
way she moves
Bayonetta.
is very fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
She's
wife
very
actually
good.
likes to play that, or used to like to play that. She
Yeah.
never beat Ninja Gaiden Black, but she did beat Bayonetta and really enjoyed
bad,
that.
bad
and,
teacher. what?
Exactly, bad teacher. Yeah, I agree. And Heavenly Sword on the PS3, she really liked that too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What,
definitely
So who
looking forward
decides
to
that? I mean, it's like you say, hey, I'm going to submit. What happens if 4 or 5 people wanted to run Bayonetta? How do they decide? Or do 4 or 5 people run it at that? I've never been to one of those. So
I don't know how they
Um,
really decide though, but ultimately. But I think your position must have an impact on the run, I guess, and how relevant your commentary is. You know.
I think one thing they consider is, can this person do a no reset run? Like, will they be able to do the run within the estimate that they've given? And like, yeah, like what kind of time they have on the board, as if they're gonna be able to do the run that they said that they're gonna do for the marathon.
Because
Yeah.
I watch, side note, I watch a good part of your Neo run on ESA, and I really like your run. You know, it was very,
Yeah.
very informative and all of that. At first, I think were you a little bit nervous? Because at first it
Yeah, I
seemed
was
like,
nervous that
yeah,
day.
it seems you were a little bit nervous at first, and then you ease into it, you know, and. Yeah, I did enjoy that. It's nice. I feel it's nice when the runner, you know what they're talking about in the game, you know, and that they're just not running their game on automatic pilot and thinking that everyone understand the run. Is that you have to put in the
Yeah.
perspective that there's some people that have never played that game, and if
Yeah.
you don't really describe on what's going on and give the right information, a lot of people will, well, they will not get, I guess, that much into the run, compared to the way you explain it. It makes it that an outsider and someone that never played the game can still appreciate the run without playing it, and I think that's a really good thing, actually. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something I consider a lot with like commentary at marathons, and that's something I'll consider a lot if I got Ninja Gaiden Black in Frame Fatales, because yeah, a lot of the time the people who watch, they don't know the game, they don't know what's going on, so it's not about explaining everything, but it's like explaining the main things that they would be able to grasp with a little understanding.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I always think of it like if you were to talk to a child about this game, what would you say?
Yeah, it's
Not to
it's
like
a,
Right,
diminish,
right,
not to
yeah.
like
No, no,
diminish
no.
the audience or anything,
no.
Right,
but to
right.
be able to say it in like a simplistic way that makes sense,
Yeah.
not in a way that's too overly complicated or like that's too much to handle, but just enough information to make the game seem, oh yeah, this is cool, you know, they're doing cool things, and
Yeah.
you know, this is
Is that
interesting, you know.
is that
Yeah.
part of your note process? It's like, okay, I'm going to be running this, and I want to make sure I hit this in chapter 1 or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
do you
always
have certain
take
things?
notes with my commentary of the main things I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then also a good tactic is like knowing like what things are good not to talk about. That's also a good thing.
Yeah. That's
It's
Yeah, I
easy
think we
to
had that
ramble.
before we all had our
Yeah.
discussion today,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
on live.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, Big Al. You said you have to go soon. Myself, I probably have to go soon. If you want, we could probably wrap this up if that's
Well, I
good
mean,
with
it's
you.
up to y'all. Y'all can stay as long as y'all want to stay. I don't want to keep it or cut it short if y'all still have things to say. I know we've covered a lot, and we can always continue it later on too.
Yeah.
It's whatever y'all want to do. What do y'all think? Y'all want
Well,
Gala?
It is
I mean,
getting
this is
pretty
kinda
late for
your-
me, so
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
It's still early for Gala. She could probably go another 4 or 5 hours. It's still early over there. It's actually tomorrow over there.
Side note, unrelated, Gala. Are you gonna continue a little bit your NG2 today, or are you you're not streaming today, or?
Well, I stream a bit late. Like it's 8 a.m. for me, and I usually stream at like maybe 3 p.m. So like I have heaps of time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm okay.
All right. So you.
yeah, it's 11. It's just gone 11 p.m. here.
So yeah, I know it's late for you,
Mhm.
but yeah, if we want, I mean, if we have more stuff to say, we could always do that again another time. I don't mind it. I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoy personally having you here, Gala, and you have a different perspective, and it's definitely interesting to hear. I enjoy it. So yeah.
Very enjoyable. I mean, you said some things that I never even thought about, and really the mentality that you were talking about really stuck with me. That people, it has to be this or that. But yeah, if you're not mentally focused on that, it doesn't matter how good you are at the other aspects we had mentioned. You're just not going to be into it. So what a great perspective of that.
Yep.
I think it'd be
Yeah,
cool
especially
to
from
kind of.
AE.
Go ahead.
I'd say it'd be cool to just be cool to kind of compare notes, I guess, because I think from the sounds of it, the three of us are going to be looking at running the Master Collection.
Yeah.
I'm a
so it'd be-
watcher. I
You're
know,
watching.
I know my place. I know my place.
But
with
I
you guys.
I have that third run I told you, JTB, for normal anyway. After I'll probably try Master Ninja for fun, but I have that third run I want to test, like I told you about
Yeah, I think,
with Lunar. But
yeah, I think I'll be doing it in the opposite. I'm gonna probably do Master Ninja first, and then I'll look at like normal after that. That's the thing with this as well with the equipment, because the other difficulties, even in black, just because of the items, like they're quite different. Like very hard and Master Ninja on the surface are quite similar until you start looking at like Ninpo routes, and you're like, oh yeah, that's weird on very hard. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
And side note also, because we talk about the differences, there's another one that popped, is that I mean, we talk
We
about
could
this.
never leave.
Yeah,
If we
no,
don't leave,
but
we can never leave.
listen to what I'm gonna say, and I'm telling that to you also, Gala, for when you start running it, for the run on normal specifically, JTB, is that on the run on normal, you're much more starving for essence. So I kind of told you before we even started the recording. I wasn't recording, but I told JTB that in this run on normal, I really feel like you have to get the chest of essence in chapter 4 near the Great Bridge Challenge where it is later on, because you don't get essence in the the equivalent of chapter 10 later. And in this run also, another thing that I picked up on is that you will prioritize a lot more great elixir for heal, because some of those chests that were replaced by essence, the one in chapter 10 is a great elixir, so you seem to have a lot more great elixir in this run.
There's
and then
tons in Sigma, yeah.
yeah, and then because you also don't do the swim of death, you also save elixir on top of that. So there's a shit ton of great elixir. So in the run on normal, I do think you're gonna have to prioritize healing with the great elixir, because if not for the small one, you might be starving, and because you don't have, let's say, the pill bug after Awaken Alma, as much as some people found the section was annoying. Now that there's 3 Berserker, they're just giving you blue essence, no money. I mean, you kind of need to refill on those explosive arrow and all that stuff, you know, before Emperor. But in this one thing I noticed, though, you might not need to refill the AFS because today I when I did a test run earlier this morning, I just got the explosive arrow, and because fire wheel, I guess, on how much it ticks against Emperor 2, you can pretty much one cycle him with the gleaming blade finish, you know.
Yeah, and
So
that doesn't surprise me.
yeah, so
'cause
that's
fire
really
wheels is much
fast. So
better.
technically, you could save on, we'll say, refilling the AFS whatever arrow, you know, the the one that penetrates the armor, I guess.
APFSDS.
Yeah, APFSD. I always
Let you
forget
know
the
you played
name.
the game too much.
Yeah, I
I
always.
just call it the core arrows.
Yeah, so but those, so technically you wouldn't need to get those, but I still want to do tests to see you know, if I upgrade the Lunar also in this run, like I told you, because of Jotunfrau, and then the, well, Schmogen, you know, the lava dragon, to see it's a lot better with the Lunar. So I'm gonna be doing that testing, and then I'll give you guys some feedback on that.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
your
that'd
notes.
be cool.
Yeah, well, it's all in my head for that, though. I don't
Oh,
have.
yeah.
I just play that game. Remember, I don't play a lot of game. I'm not that cool. I'm not like the cool kids. So I'm old.
You're
I
cool to
remember.
us.
Remember people. I mean, you say you're old, Big Al, but people call me old in my stream
Stop
when.
it.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
20 years older than you. Give me a break. I don't want to hear it. When I hear about your slow reflexes, give me a break. Come on. Man. When
It's
y'all get my age, that's when I want to hear how you're speed running and all that stuff, and see what y'all's times are then. But when do you do your thing, Gala? When is your games done quick? When does that
Oh,
take place?
that is
July, I think, right?
that's gonna be happening 5th to the 11th of July. I'm pretty sure I'm on the 5th or the 6th of July is when I'm going to be doing Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man,
And
I look
then
forward to
the
watching
Frame
that.
Fatales one for if I get Ninja Gaiden Black in is near the start of August, so that's the next one.
I mean,
So I'll keep you
what I'll,
updated.
yeah, if you get, though, the schedule, what I'll do is I can post it here in the conversation, I guess, when it's a run, you know, so
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
you guys
Yeah,
can
sure,
know ahead and get to catch her run and all of that, because
How
I'm
long
looking
does that
for.
usually take you to do that, Gala? That run?
Oh, the Bayonetta run.
Yeah.
My estimate is 1 hour 55, which is very generous. My PB is 1 hour 39.
Oh wow.
But
wow.
that run has
A lot
like
of-
a lot of fights where
yeah.
you can progressively lose time to each
Okay.
of them.
So-
So yeah.
so
You know what might be interesting if you want to do it after you get it all done or something, if you want to do like a little commentary that we could put up on your channel, and you know, I don't know how useful I would be in that, but we could get on here, watch it, and you know, maybe you know, let people know what you're thinking, you know, if they don't get a chance, or if you don't get a chance to do that, to add some information to that. I'm big into commentary and helping people
Yeah,
out. so
commentary
sometimes
is
it's
very
little-
good.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it's a little overkill, but
If you're down for it, of course, Gala, no pressure, you know. But yeah.
yeah,
if-
oh yeah, yeah. It's just an idea. You know, I mean, I've really enjoyed our time here. Okay, guys, but I'm gonna need to take off here. Shelly's got dinner ready, and
No problem, Big Al. So thank you very much for stopping by, brother. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap the recording. So thank you everyone that watched that video. Much appreciated. I don't know if you guys have anything to say, but I'm gonna let you say your goodbyes, and then I'll wrap up the video.
No, really, just say thanks for everyone watching. Thanks for coming on, Guy. It was great to like pick your brain a little bit about
Yes.
Yeah,
coming
thanks
to
for
NG.
having
Yeah.
me. Thanks for having me.
well, we'll definitely have to do it again.
Yeah, it was really fun. So on that note, take care, everyone. Have a good one, and we'll catch up next time.
See ya.
Bye.
See you.